The word has been sent out. I think we're ready to start this. Okay, welcome everyone to the Average Homies of Sigmar podcast. I'm Steve, the Average Healthsmith, and joining me we have...
I am Matt, the Average Alfarius.
And I'm Ed, just the average dude.
And together we make up the Average Homies of Sigmar. We're a bunch of average Sigmar players that just want to get together, chat the hobby, and go through things. So today's our inaugural episode 1. We hope to make this a regular thing. And today we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to go over the Ossiarch Bone Reapers preview that Games Workshop dropped last week. And then we're going to talk and take a look at the Average Homie of the Week, which will be a list that is in the mid-pack because Average Homies come in the middle of the events from the Pacific Northwest or the Masters event in the United States. But without further ado, we're going to start introducing ourselves. So I'll flip it over to the Average Alfarius.
Heyo, I'm Matt. I've been playing Games Workshop products for a very long time. I'm what will be considered an OG. I started with Rogue Trader, quickly moved into Warhammer Fantasy Battles and played it for the almost duration of its life. I played a lot of 40K and then it just wasn't doing it for me. So I moved over to Age of Sigmar about 3 years ago, basically full time. I dropped 40K and I've been hooked ever since and will never go back. I am a casual competitive player. I like tournaments. I like the thrill of a tournament, but I never strive to be that I'm going to crush you and win 5-0 GT. I actively right now am playing Ossiarch Bone Reapers, Slaves of Darkness, Stormcast, Flesh Eater Courts. Yes. I'm also working on Skaven. And yes. My favorite part of the game is that social interaction that you have with an opponent at a table and having just a good time and laughing about stupid stuff that happens. Do I have any superstitions before the game? Not at all. Nope. Just going over with my opponent that it's basically, this is what I'm looking to get out of the game, is some belly laughs and possibly a weekend away from my kids and wife. Not that I want to be away from them, but it's nice to get away and have common nerd stuff with other nerds. You'll see me in the mid-tables. I'm an average 3-2 player at a GT, 2-3. More so a 3-2 lately. And that's me.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Take it away myself. All right. So I'm Steve, the Average Healthsmith. I play... I'm Steve and I have a problem. I play many armies. I love to collect armies. I love jumping around between armies. Currently, as you can see by the name there, I'm currently playing the Healthsmiths of a Shit. I'm building them up, playing them in a local league here. Shout out to the Old Man Winter League up in Edmonton, Alberta, and JP Talbot for organizing that. But I have played Soul Blight in the past, as well as some Skaven at the last LVO. And a dalliance with Nurgle, as Matt knows. Much like Matt, I started in 40K, played 40K for quite a few years. Then got hooked into Matt's gaming group in Ontario. And when 40K started not doing it for us, I was convinced to come to the dark side. And I've been hard playing AOS for the last year and a half or so. Casual or competitive, I'd say a bit of both. Kind of like Matt, I do like the competitive aspect, but I do enjoy a casual game now and then as well, and try and make things, do crazy results. Average result, best result. For me, I would say it really depends on the army I'm playing. So when I play Soulblight Gravelords, for some reason I find myself with 2-1, 3s and 2s, and trending upwards. And when I play Hellsmiths or Nurgle, it's trending downwards. So that's more of a 2-3 to a 1-2 army. For me, getting a game at AOS, I want to get a mental workout in to start off with. I enjoy kind of thinking through things, but I also enjoy the interaction, right? Having a good game with the opponent, and both of us, since we're spending our hard-earned time enjoying the game or getting a enjoyment out of playing the game. Favorite part of the game for me is making a plan and seeing it work, or reacting to circumstance as things appear on the board. How often do I hobby? I have a lot. That's kind of my escape from work, family, everything. So probably once a day, and if not once a day, then once every other day for at least a half hour to an hour. I do have a superstition when I play, in terms of where I for some reason, I don't know what it is. I just love going first, which sucks when you play Hellsmith. You don't want to go first, but I just love going first. If I don't go first, I kind of feel off when I don't do it. And I'm offering a piece of advice to an average player is don't sweat the small stuff yet.
Yeah.
I'd say don't sweat the small stuff yet. If you're an average player, play for enjoyment, play armies you enjoy, hobby things you enjoy, get the look cool factor going, and just try and have a fun, crazy game, as Ridvin Martinez would say. But that's me.
Just put paint on it.
Just put paint on it too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely get that later, but just put paint on it. And with that, I'll toss it over to Ed.
So I'm Ed. I am very new to AOS. I think I've played a grand total of 7 games. I also started playing 40K back in 4th and 5th. And then I walked away from it for a good long while. And I ended up buying a Iron Jaws Start collecting box just because I like the look of the models and wanted to learn to paint them. And these two ruffians convinced me to start actually playing on the tabletop. So really enjoying playing AOS. I only have Iron Jaws. I am starting to collect Gits. My average result at this point is 0-4 because I'm still learning. What do I want out of the game? I want to draw the belly laugh out of my opponent. I want to make sure that my opponent is the one having a good time. And that would also be my favorite part of the game, is the interaction with my opponent. I'm just here for a good time. If I was here to get sweaty, I play in the wrong game. I try to hobby as often as I can, probably 4 to 5 times a week for at least an hour. Superstitions. You know what I do? I found out that I do. I bring 2 bricks of dice with me to every game, and I roll 1 dice from each. And the lower of the 2 dice is the brick that I play that game. And if I can offer one piece of advice, if you see me doing it, do the opposite.
Oh, I like the superstition. That's a good superstition.
Which one's that?
His brick. It's rolling his lowest brick of dice.
Yeah.
Like someone I know that has to force the roll on TTS 1,000 times before we start.
I did have one piece of advice to give to like newer players is, and I gave this to Ed when we first started playing, was don't worry about winning. Don't focus on winning. Focus on setting a realistic goal of achieving this many battle tactics, 1, 2, and this
Absolutely.
many victory points. Be it, and make it reasonable. If you can get 20 to 30 points in your first dozen games, every game, it gives you something to build on instead of the high expectation of, I want to win a game. So I've done it so many times where I've gone into a tournament and it's like, I want to go 2-1. And when I go 0-3 or 1-2, because the field is much better than me, there's a little bit of a disappointment. Whereas if I had said overall, I wish that I could achieve 6 battle tactics over the course of the tournament and this many victory points, and then I can actually get those, it makes it an achievable goal and it gives you something to build upon.
Yeah, definitely think that's great advice. As we see in the chat, someone asked, does the superstition always work? And not yet, but someday it will. Someday it will, Ed.
One day, mark my words, one day it'll work.
One day it will.
One day.
but on to Matt's point, I totally agree. And I think it's this is a bit of a football analogy here. Those who enjoy the roasted unicorn, love it. Those who enjoy college football or kind of mental processes, I think maybe this is a future episode, but there's a thing called The Process by Nick Saban, wherein you don't aim for results, you aim to enjoy the process. So you aim to enjoy the hobby itself. You aim to enjoy playing the best turn you can in Sigmar. So I'm going to like set out the goal to be like, this turn I'm going to make the best decisions I can, and whatever happens happens. But kind of things like that. But I think that's great advice. Anything else before we move on to Ossiarch Bone Reapers preview?
No.
All right, we're gonna bring it up and let's talk about the preview. So for those of us who are gonna listen to this on Spotify or audio only podcasts, I'll kind of talk through it as we get to certain pieces, just so you can have an idea of what we're talking about. But we'll also try and talk to the screen. So we're just gonna bring up the new preview from Games Workshop on the Ossiarch Bone Reapers Battle Tome that's going to come out. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to our resident Ossiarch Bone Reaper player just to get us kicked off.
Hey, that's me. That's a me.
That's a you.
Daddy's driving. Okay. Sorry.
Put it on the bingo
I
card.
have very high hopes for this Battle Tome. I am in love with the new model range. I love the throwback to Tomb Kings, where we've got an archer unit, we've got chariots. The new Liege Mortec, I think, is going to be bonkers good. If like, you know, we're only hearing tidbits of what they can do. In the preview, they had said that he has a chain of fight ability, but it sounded as though he could cause the archer units to shoot as well. So it doesn't sound like it is if you're within 3 inches, they chain fight. It's a Mortec, it's an ability of some sort where they get another unit to fight in addition. I think he's going to be very cool. Maybe not necessarily an auto include, depending on how army composition goes. The changes to the Relentless Discipline, I don't think we have enough information just yet on it, because it sounds as though you get a pool of points based upon the heroes that you take. But I don't know if they reset. I don't know if it had said whether they reset every turn, if this is what you get for the battle. We don't know if those Relentless Disciplines are going to change from the current ones. For those that don't know, OBR have an ability that you can use in the movement phase, charge phase, and fight phase, where you get to choose between one of 2 options that benefit your army. And this is done every one of those phases. How will I turn him into a centaur? Yes, you are correct. How will I do that? Exodus has seen, I have my OBR army that I've been running lately is just nothing but centaurs. I've converted every single one of my models to be centaurs. So they're fun. The bowmen for these OBR, I think, are ridiculously good, depending on what their point values are going to be. There'll probably be a 10-man squad with these braziers, braziers. I don't know what they are. Those things.
Flame pots. Pots of flame.
Yeah, flame pots. That if I heard it correctly, if the whole unit shoots at one target, that target cannot heal or return models for the remainder of the battle round. Or is it until the next turn? Regardless, stopping rallying and night haunt recursion, and any recursion to a unit is huge. But if these guys are over 250 points for a unit of 10, they might not be worth it. I think there's still an auto include with that ability. They'll probably have an 18-inch range, 2 shots, 3s and 4s, exploding 6s, no rend, 1 damage. Is sort of where I'm leaning towards. I think we had talked about it, that there'll probably be a Bliss Barb Archer stat line. If I don't convert it, okay, all right, you won't approve it. All right.
see how it is. I see.
I see. The chariot
scene.
Yeah, right. The chariot really piques my curiosity, because I think it adds an element to the OBR that has been not necessarily missing, but missing, if that makes sense. The single model that if it acts like every other chariot, it's going to get like extra D3 mortal wounds on a power through. But the fact that there's a character as well, I think is super cool. The Liege Cavalos chariot rider. Yeah, I want to know what is going to be the first thing nerfed. Yeah, you're not wrong. It'll be the archers. FYI, it will be the archers. I really like these guys. I hope that they are limited to one per regiment, unless you have the character on the chariot, in which case that individual can take, the Ben-Hur of here's Ben-Hur with an entire legion of chariots. Let's go. And then a small unit of the archers, and we're golden. Let's go. The most interesting unit that I found were the Reapers. I am trying to, every time I look at them, all I can see is Drukhari mandrakes.
100%.
I have a feeling that these guys are going to be like ninja stealth assassins that disappear and reappear. They have an ability, I thought I heard, where they can like deep strike within a certain range of a hero, or they can teleport or something.
I'm just looking at it now. These sneaking behind enemy lines. So I think it's going to be, like you say, a deep strike or a board edge entry to kill generals, sorcerers, priests, and other fingers who might shy away. So anti-hero.
So I imagine they'll have that. Yeah, they'll have anti-hero or anti-like wizard priest, more than likely anti-hero. Rend. They might do extra damage. They probably will have an ability, and I've seen it before, where it's like they can arrive on the battlefield outside of 9 inches or outside of 6 inches of an enemy hero, or maybe you like death mark a hero, and they're like, "We're coming to get you," type thing. That is sort of my take. I love the models. I think that these Reaper models look like mwah. They're my favorite out of the release. I really like them. They do not fit the OBR aesthetic, but I really like them.
Yeah,
I think they're great, but I think the archers are just the best looking models of the release.
I will agree.
The third eye. I just.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, that was the other thing too. Is that I guess there's the it sort of subtly says that cover isn't going to be a thing for them. So whether they're going to have they can shoot outside of line of sight, or obscuring, you can't benefit from obscuring versus them. That is going to be big.
Yeah, it says just for those who can't read it, their extra eye can see an enemy's spiritual aura, allowing these archers to train their aim on targets before they break cover, which sounds like cheating to us, which sounds like ignoring obscuring to the team here. Reference your aesthetic points, because that's what homies care about. We care about aesthetics. I will agree to disagree. I agree with you that it does break the aesthetic, the Reapers, but I don't like it breaking the aesthetic. I view OBR as kind of like phalanx, sturdy things, line by line, chariots crashing, Ben-Hur as you offered. But this is like, I don't know where skirmishers fits into that. It's an element the army needs. I will give you that. It's like I don't, maybe Tetric cohort. Was it Tyratic?
Yes.
Yeah. So I wonder what that's going to do now, because that's kind of what Tyratic cohort was doing, right?
The cohort were there to take backfield objectives and always like pressure. Oh, look at that! You've got a catapult in the back, and I just need to engage it in close combat. Because like the cohort don't do a lot damage wise, but they are really sneaky, and they're really good at taking those backfield objectives and always threatening to take it and scoring, battle tactics from 3rd edition. 4th edition, maybe not.
Yeah. But say Ed, you're saying you love the archers though, eh?
I do. They are, as a personal, they are my. I think they're the best looking of the new release. But I mean, my opinion in a bus token will get you a bus ride.
What's that? Sorry.
My opinion in a bus token will get you a bus ride.
Oh, that's true. That's a very Ontario thing to say. So I will offer, for my favorite models. I told you already. I don't want to be negative, Nancy. I told you already what I don't like. But I will offer my favorite is probably it's split between Liege Mortec or the boss on the chariot. I'll probably can go with the boss and the chariot because the bone ponies look amazing here. So for those who can't
They
see it,
do.
we're looking at the boss on chariot. What is it? Liege Cavalos on war chariot, which I assume will be a sub commander under Xantos or a Liege Cavalos. But the ponies' heads are more of a dragon esque head. It's not kind of like the raven pony that the rest of the OBR range has. It looks kind of more like a dragon like. So I'd say those are my two models. But let's move on from aesthetics. Aesthetics are important. Don't get us wrong. That's what average homies are here for. We talked a little bit about it, and it goes to our question there that Age of Canucks posed about what is getting nerfed first. So, Matt, how do you think the Battle Tome impacts the meta? Assuming it comes out first, assuming it comes out before Siege or any of the other ones.
I think it'll have that 1 or 2 week period of time where, because right now there's a lot of people playing OBR because they are in the right hands. They're very good because they're so toolbox, because they can answer a lot of questions that a lot of other armies can't answer with like the relentless discipline and like Mortek Guard are really hard to kill. Our Catacross handing out +1 save to units is really, really hard to kill. So I think for the first couple of weeks, we're going to see a lot of it, and then it'll peter off. What is getting nerfed first? More than likely those archers. I think, and then the impact on the meta, I think that it won't have any more impact than what is currently. What am I saying here? I don't think that they will make more of an impact than they already are right now.
It just stays the same. There's some changes. The play pattern may change here or there, but we're not going to see a win rate over 55%, nor are we seeing a win rate below 45%, probably.
I don't think it'll be below 50, because if you look at them right now,
yeah,
the players in the area that are playing them are all, aside from myself, are all like top tier players. You know, Carl is on them, and yeah, they're in the hands of good players. And I think that we'll probably see a 50-55% win rate, unless there's some ridiculous battle formation or, you know, barring any like special rules that they might have. It doesn't look like their play style is going to change.
Mm. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Ed, what are your thoughts?
I tend to agree with Matt. Coming from a position of lack of experience, but I do see the ignores cover for the archers to be a potentially meta shifting mechanic if that is what they're doing. I think that could possibly be an issue and would not necessarily warrant a nerfing, but it's possible. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'd buy that for $1 too. For me, I think what it's really going to depend on is the relentless discipline mechanic.
Yes.
So at this time, all we know right now, let me just pull it up. We talked about it earlier, but I did find the paragraph in here where they talk about it. Okay. Your heroes on the field now generate a pool of points you can spend to use various abilities. Catacross generates 10, which I assume is a lot. Liege Mortex creates 5, and abilities can gain power for additional points spent. So I think, to me, what we got to wait and see on is if there's 1 or 2 relentless discipline abilities that are, not to say broken, but like can be abused, like a run and charge for something that shouldn't be able to do it. 3d6 charge, which they already have anyways with the Harbingers, but like something else, like throwing a Mortek Guard at someone with the 3d6 charge and pinning right away. I think it depends on relentless discipline. I agree with you, Matt, that I don't think it's going to like dominate things. Most likely it just settles where it is. A good player makes great use of the discipline. An average player like us figures it out after about 15 to 20 games and then gets a feel for it for the GHB changes. Or something else comes along and blows it out of the water. But overall, I think it's going to be great. I think it's a great shift to see that GW is starting to play with the battle traits. I mean, we saw it last year at the tail end of last year that they're starting to move away from index battle traits.
Yep.
So I don't mind if we go to a hybrid, because for those of you at OBR in third edition before, the points, there's a pool. So the index changed it to not a pool, changed it to an aura. So if we can go to a hybrid of maybe a pool aura, that would be cool. But we'll see. Any other thoughts on the Battle Tome and the releases for Ossiarch Bone Reapers before we move on to our next segment?
No, I just hope it comes out before the summer.
Yeah, I think it will. I think GW's against the gun to get this stuff out before summer.
Yep.
Before that other
Before
game system
June.
has their, yeah. Before that other game system has their release this summer.
Exactly.
Okay. So with that done, we're going to move off to the next segment. So the next segment, I'll just kind of give it a bit of an introduction here. It's the average homie of the week. So average homie of the week, last book out. We'll talk about the end if we got time. Last book out there, Age of Canucks. So average homie of the week. An average homie is someone who places dead in the middle. So an average Joe, as they talked about at TGX, for those of you who attended that. And so we're going to take a look at some of the biggest events or a big event when we do these shows and find someone who's in the middle. Doesn't have to be the dead middle. We have creative license to go between 1, 2 up, just to find an interesting list or something to talk about. So for this week, we are going to talk about, and I'll bring it up on the screen here. Funny enough, we're going to talk about the Age of Sigmar North American Masters. So we're not talking the team in the middle, we're talking the player in the middle. So 80 people playing in the event. Technically 40 is the middle of it, but we're going to go between 39 and 41. And since we're already talking about Ossiarch Bone Reapers, we're going to talk about LeRon Roberts, Gateway Gamers, Ossiarch Bone Reapers. And I'm going to read the list name out for those who can't see it, and then I'll let Matt take it away from the OBR perspective. Who stalks the stalker?
I love this list. This is a list very similar to what I took to LVO at the end of third edition. I had the great pleasure of playing against Michael Rausch in round 2, and he wanted to shake my hand for having the cojones to bring this list because it wasn't very good. They did things that, like, it had troubles getting battle tactics, but I had like 24 stalkers painted up and Immortus Guard, and I just wanted to bring it. It was a lot of fun. This list, I think, is fun. I have seen this list before. A gentleman by the name of Sean Nolan out of Game Night League, yes, in London, and I love this list. You've got Catacross to hand out +1 saves. Your Soul Reaper with one of his spells can give one of these units strike first. You've got 2 units? You've got a unit of Immortus Guard, a Crawler, a Harvester, and is it 2 reinforced stalkers? Can you just scroll down a bit there, Stephen?
Yeah, 1 sec. Here you go.
Yeah, two reinforced stalkers and the Soul Reaper. The Soul Reaper, I personally would have given him the load of saturation. Oh, there's 2. Okay, yeah, no, he's got the. Never mind. The Soul Reaper has the load of saturation, which is he can only be hit on a 1 to on a 4+. So 1 to 3 doesn't hit, regardless of what they're hitting on. All out attack doesn't matter. He himself gives out a -1 to be wounded, and then the stalkers can combo with that, where they can hand out, they can be -1 to be hit. So going into stalkers, -1 to hit, -1 to wound, destruction armies cry at this. And if you want to
confirm.
If you want to target the Soul Reaper, it's also -1 to hit. You don't have the negative to wound, but then you're focusing all the attacks into him. He also chain fights into the stalkers. You put the Immortus Guard beside him. He's now got like the potential for a 4+ ward in the combat phase, because your Relentless Discipline for a 5+ the Immortus Guard gives them +1 So he can turn into this tanky little like 6-wound model that you don't roll enough dice to kill because you don't quite comprehend. I love this list. What battle tactics? Restless and Attuned. Attuned is
Yeah, I was just
great.
going to ask about that.
It's like Attuned for these guys is great. It's a 3-drop, so you run the risk of having your opponent decide to go first and just kind of take the center away from you. But the beauty part is that those stalkers pack enough of a punch that they can hopefully clear that screen. Like they're 3-4 attacks each. They're Ren 2, damage 1. Like they can do quite a lot of damage. You're just rolling enough dice at things. I love this list. It's fantastic. It is something right up my alley. I would play this in a heartbeat if I hadn't have converted all of my stalkers into centaurs.
We will see those centaurs later for those who are interested. Yeah, I think it's an interesting list. I loved it when I saw it at LVO. As a non-OBR enjoyer, but a like OBR adjacent guy who kind of knows a bit of the rules, but not all of them. Catacross seems good. The +1 save. It's just so good for a CP. I have fought against it many a time, and it's driven me nuts. The Harvester is interesting. How does the Harvester work into this? Because
the Harvester, when it does damage, you accumulate a certain number of points up to a maximum of 6, and at any end of turn, you can use those points to return a model equal to that health characteristic. So if the Harvester does 4 points of damage, he can return a Stalker. He can return an Immortus Guard. Like it's there. It actually isn't terrible for its point value.
Interesting. We already talked about the tactics. The manifestation lore is great. For OBR, so good. Like it's
one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
It like from an average standpoint, not fully comprehending. We'll talk about manifestations in another episode, but I personally feel that the OBR manifestations are one of the best manifestation lore in the game.
And as someone who has had his word removed several times as a death player for my game lore, I would agree. It's very good. I don't like it. Ed, any thoughts on this one?
It looks like an interesting list, and I'd like to play into that. I'd probably lose badly, but I'd have a lot of fun doing it.
You'd crumpet.
And
don't worry.
that's the name of the game, is having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. Do we want to take a look at any of what he played into, good, bad, or just want to move on?
If you want to, sure. This was a team event as well, so
the pairings are kind of not controlled, but like
exactly.
Yeah.
And I believe that the big shout out for the Canadians needs to be put in here because they were discounted and ended
just second.
Third overall.
Third, I think. Yeah, let me just check here. There it is, right there. Team Canada,
right there.
number 3.
So,
out of that, take
great job.
Take that, Great Plains, Southwest, Midwest, Texas, Pacific Northwest, Mid-Atlantic, California.
So great job to the Jensen lady that was there. Shada was a coach and was apparently invaluable to the team. But it like great showing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty well done.
Now, was this a 5-man team like the TGX was, or was it?
Yeah.
I think it was larger, wasn't it?
Oh no, was it 8?
Yeah,
I think it's an 8 person.
I think it was. Let's go to the roster. Let's take a look here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's larger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. It was an 8-person team. But I mean, as you look through the names here, a lot of key names. Yeah, the classic Team Canada names there.
Precisely.
Is that Gore Chosen? Probably is.
Yeah, beautiful. Sean
Gore Chosen.
I played against Sean at TGX and his Gore Chosen, and it's a good thing he's a good dude because it's a miserable army to play against.
Yeah, he played into Dylan Therio. So our average homie played into Dylan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, one of. Oh, he played against Jeremy as well. Another one of the best players in the world. Yep, yeah. Perfect.
see what his because we saw that was near the end. Let's see where he let's just take a quick look before we move on. Give our laurels to the average homie of the week. Yeah, 36.53, pretty close. Like that's a pretty good amount against whatever he got paired into.
Yeah.
What did he get paired into? No one has ever forgotten to declare their finest hour, and I won't be the first. Yeah, you know about that, don't you, Matt?
Yes, I do. I also know about completely buffing a unit of prosecutors and then doing nothing with them.
If you want to see that, go to Season of War and look for that video.
Playing against Carl and his OBR.
All right. Well done to LaRon Roberts. You are the average homie of the week. Completely average. We love to see it. That being said, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is hobby time. So we're going to go through hobby time and then move on to last questions. Let me get this results off stage here, and we'll start into Ed first. Ed, I'm going to put it on up. What?
So we have only to go up from there?
No, we're starting with the best first.
I need to interject here. Ed, at the beginning of, I want to say it was mid-November, but really the beginning of December, we knew that we had a tournament coming up at the beginning of January, and Ed just put his head down and painted a 2,000-point army in about 3 weeks, and then he didn't stop. He's continued on. What's your total points painted that you have now, Ed?
5,300.
Yeah, 5,300 points. And this is like over the course of 6-7 weeks, maybe. Ed's just been a hobby machine.
Yeah, he's putting us to shame.
Well, in fairness, I was off on sick leave for most of December. So I had the extra time. And it allowed me to just zen, I guess, just to, block the world out and relax.
But you used it well.
I tried.
We know others that wouldn't use that sick leave to hobby. So, like, yeah. I didn't mention anyone. We talked about. But no, it's great. And it's great to see, honestly, from my perspective, seeing it, because we have obviously, like everyone in the world, we have a group chat on so many group chats. It was great to see the pictures coming up because it gave me motivation too, just to keep pushing, and like he was done and he kept going. So like there's always that more to go. I loved it. So yeah, Ed, without further ado, take us through some of this stuff here. What do you hobby?
So this is Godrek on a Mock Crusher. I found this really neat green I wanted to use for the Mock Crusher, so I just went for it and I did a full send. And you know what? I'm really happy with how it turned out. I learned a lot. I was terrified to paint this model. I'm not going to lie. Before I actually put brush to model, I was terrified to paint this thing. And you know what? Now that it's done and I look at it, I'm happy. I'm really happy with the results. I'm glad that I was able to do it. I'm sad that I didn't get it done in time where I could use it at TGX. I think I would have loved to have seen it on the table. But it's done, and I'm happy with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I love it.
Yeah, I think it looks great because you take a look at that green there. It's blending into the slap chop or the zenithal that you did with the dry brushing. You can see that green blending into black into the crevices. I especially like here. Can't see. I'm pointing at it. I'm pointing with my mouse, but no one can see it. For those who are also listening, he's got a nice blue cloth under the mouth that has a lot of, like, you can see the vibrant blue at the top, and then it fades direct into black. I always found that kind of the hardest thing is when you're dealing with light colors, blue, purple, not purple, rather, pink and yellow, to get that direct fade into black is tough without it looking weird, where it just like cuts right off to get the blend into it. What are your thoughts on this, Matt, before we throw up the next one?
I love it. I think, Ed, like being you're a newer painter as well. You painted years and years ago, but it's my understanding that your wife actually did that painting.
That is 100%.
So for the fact that you are like less than 6 months of painting, You went from being, I remember little hobby hangouts that we had where you were afraid to put the brush to the model, to seeing what you're doing now. And it's like every model that you show us in our little group chat, every single one of them just gets better and better and better and better. And I can't wait to see a year from now the models that you're putting on the board.
Thank you.
100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into a little bit of work of progress stuff you sent me here. So we'll go to this one.
So this is my
away.
current work in progress. Now I got stalled last week because I got very sick. I had a really bad head cold last week. So I have five art boys and one Gorgon because why not? And I got to use my new golden maple handle, and I love this. It's a magnetic handle with the hand rest. It gives me the extra anchor point when I'm painting, which allows me to sturdy up and my hands. I love it. It's fantastic.
Speaking of biggest, I hear a Great Dane barking in the background.
I just had to mute myself there. I was like, the biggest is behind me. Yeah, for those who don't know me, I have many pets, and the largest of one is over 100 pounds. It's a Great Dane who loves to come downstairs and yell at people. You may hear him, you may not. But yeah, these are looking great. Age of Canucks, I've been looking at these handles. How? Never mind. Awesome.
Ed ranted about them for about half an hour, saying how comfortable they are, how awesome they are. So if they're in your budget, it sounds like Ed fully endorses. I don't want to speak for you, Ed.
Approval,
yeah.
It was a game changer for me. I'm not going to lie.
Awesome. Well, we've seen some destruction. We're not done with destruction yet, but we'll move over to some death, and we'll talk a little bit of that.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was my army that I took to TGX. So every single one of them, except for the manifestations, which Josh gave me a hard time about, was completely converted. The first few were difficult to figure out, and then once I had the flow of it, they were really easy. My Archon, the back right corner there, is his actual abyssal hound thingamadoer, and then I used a Morghast body, and then just took his staff, and yeah, and then Xantos is in the middle, and it's just the Xantos horse with the same like stalker body. I just used the big blade, double-handed blade. So yeah, that was a fun army to put together.
Great. I think they are the best converted OBR army in Ontario, bar none. Possibly Canada. If you have a better OBR converted army, I'd love to see it. Send us pictures. Average Homies of Sigmar at gmail.com. Maybe we'll put it on. But OBR conversions rock, and I think you did a great job on this one.
And it fits the narrative, because the Gash just collects the bones and builds. Like, it's not yeah. Anyways,
yep.
Carry on.
I think it'll work well with your Reapers, because this doesn't break that phalanx aesthetic, because they're already centaurs. So,
that's right.
All right, let's see the next one we got here. Oh yes, I love this one.
Yeah, that was a Brood Terror. I went on a little stint where I was like, I'm gonna play Skaven, and I painted up a Brood Terror, 6 Rogers, Grey Seer. I think it was basically stuff that was in the Skaventide box, except for I painted up a couple of Brood Terrors, and then I got drifted another way. Hobby ADHD. I got drifted another way, and
happens to the
they just kind of went to the sideline.
Just for those who are just listening to this, the base has a nice green glowing effect, but it's also kind of sludgy. Looks like it's coming out of a pipe. Can you just talk about how you got that?
Yeah, so that was a product. It's like an art product called Heavy Gel Matte. You might not see that, but that's what it is. In the if you're listening to it, it's a heavy gel matte, and it basically looks like glue. And you put it down, you let it set. It takes about 12 hours to set, and it comes out looking like that. And then I just painted it.
Awesome. All right. I think we're going to move on to my hobby picture, and then we'll do a little bit of wrap-up discussion because we have some questions about battle tomes and predictions, and who doesn't love a good, completely unfounded prediction at the end. So we'll move on to my next one. So speaking of hobby ADHD. So this is my Kragnos, which I painted in one day on a video call with the rest of the homies. I don't think it looks too bad. Definitely some things that could be like highlighted and whatnot, but for like a battle ready standard, I'm quite happy with where it got to. There is one lesson for the hobby homies out there as we learn doing this. And yes, as you can hear the biggest pigus in the background, we actually hear you. It's inks. So I recently bought the Duncan Rhodes Dark Arts paint set, and it has a lot of inks. In it. And so I turned to the OG here, Matt, and I was like, "Well, how do inks work? Is it?" I've never really used inks other than maybe the white on an airbrush for glow effects. We're putting into runes and stuff. Yeah, we'll answer that one at the end there, Age of Canucks, for sure. So, anywho, long story short, that shield, it looks like a rustic kind of leathery brown, but what it actually was yellow initially. So I painted it contrast yellow, and then I was like, I want to know what inks do. And then someone, aka Matt, was like, inks leave a stain. They will change the color of it permanently. And I was like, let's find out. Slop, slop, slop. So put a bunch of inks on, and it changed the entire complexion, but it wouldn't have gotten to that reddish hue because it was like a tobacco ink color without the underlying base color, because it shows a little bit, maybe like I'd say 10-15% of the base color through it, but it's 80% of what the ink is, depending on how much you put on it. And then going on the ADHD path, I think in the 2 months prior to the tournament, I flipped between 5 armies. It was like Soul Blight, Hellsmith, Blades of Corn were in there, but unfortunately my local game store didn't have enough Blades of Corn for me to purchase to put together an army. And I would have gone insane painting all that trim.
You need to add that it wasn't 5 different army lists. It was 5 different factions.
Yes, 5 different factions.
2 or 3 lists for each of those factions.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have no problem whatsoever. This is completely
I don't
normal
have
behavior.
hair, and I was pulling it out going, make a decision.
And surprisingly, out of the blue, I landed on a Gloomspite Gitz. A little bit of a...
In fairness, there was the one night where we sat down on a video call and we worked out an entire night. We worked an entire, and then the next day, I'm doing Gitz.
It's the same.
What happened?
It was the same as Blades of Corn. What are you talking about? This is a part of a larger Gitz army I have. Mostly wolves, Snarlpack Cavalry, some trolls, but it was fun to play. Unfortunately, it's going to see the shelves because Age of Canucks and JP Talbot's a Taskmaster, and I have to play Hellsmiths as a shoot to finish out the league. And because I'm playing the RTT for the league, I have to play Hellsmiths for that. So the Gitz are going to see the shelves for a little bit. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. But that's my hobby for the week. Probably the next one you'll see out of me is a Hellsmiths related thing as we get closer to it. Okay. That is the hobby segment. Any last words on hobby?
Just
your models look great, which I really endeavor to be as good as what you guys do.
Okay.
You will be.
You will. It takes practice. All it takes is practice. I don't consider myself that great. I consider Matt to be like a step above me. I'm in the middle. And all it takes is years of practice. Like I have a friend of mine who's into 40K now. He's just starting to paint. And he's like, oh, how do you get the highlight? How do you get this? I'm like, well, because I've spent an hour a day for 5 years just constantly doing it. And that's the only reason it gets better. But
exactly.
I would offer to those out there listening, one thing we did do in the past, we do now too. We do hobby hangouts on Discord for hobbying. But I would offer one thing to do in the past is hobby challenges are great. So there was things where we painted a combat patrol in 24 hours, which was insanity, by the way. Painted a character in a day, stuff like that. If you're into like learning about hobbying, find someone who's really good, get them sit down for 12 hours and make them paint models beside you.
Yes. Because they'll look over and be like, what are you doing? And maybe like, what are you doing? And they can help you not necessarily fix, but like build upon the foundation that you've already created.
Okay.
It's really, really good. Ridvin has always said it the best. Scary from 40K is be fearless, just put paint on it. And it resonates with me so much. It's perfect.
That's the advice I took when I started with those cabbages. Because I have two. I have the green one and I have a red one. And it was, oh, there we go. Just slap paint on. And at the first paint stroke I hit, I was like, oh, I don't know. And then after a couple hours, like, yeah, you know what, it's starting to. And then when I was finished, I was like, you know what, I'm proud of that. I did as good as I could. So, yep. Good advice from Scary.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to move off a hobby. We've got 2 questions. We got about 9 minutes or so here before we wrap this all up. 2 questions from Age of Canuck they want us to talk about. First one, what is going to be the last battle tome out? So I've been like trying to get Google AI to tell me what battle tomes are released. It's not working for me, so I'll just ram them off the top of my head, and you guys can interject if I miss one, and then we'll see what's left. Essentially, Skaven, Stormcast, Slaves to Darkness, Gloomspite Gits, Orc War Clans, Soulblight Gravelords, Night Haunt, Blades of Corn, Caradron Overlords, Idnet Deepkin, Nurgle will be out soon, and we know Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and Zeech, and we didn't talk about it, but Zeech and Lumineth Realm Lords are coming out, and Hellsmith's the shoot also. So that leaves, to my knowledge, Cities of Sigmar, Daughters of Cain. Oh, Flesh Eater Courts came out as well.
That's right. Yeah. And Night Hunt.
And Night Hunt. So it leaves Cities of Sigmar, Daughters of Cain, Fire Slayers, Hedonites, Ogre Maw Tribes.
Oh, sorry.
Seraphon, Sons of Behemoth, and Silverneth. Those are the final ones left. So I'll toss it over to you guys. What do you think will be the last battle tome? So probably next December, January, February, if Games Workshop's feeling a little slow before the change of the edition. What's the last battle tome coming out?
My vote is Silverneth.
Like you think it is, or you want it to be?
No, I think it will be.
Yeah? Just a gut feel?
Gut feel.
Gut feel, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm going to go Sons of Behemoth.
Hmm.
They're an army that are either too good or not good enough. So they'll come out, and then 4 months later, a new edition will come out, and they won't matter.
And I don't mind that they don't matter. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think there's 2. One of these is like an internet rumor. There's an internet rumor that the Fire Slayer is going to get folded into a generic Dwarves tome. But I'm not going to pick that one for last. I'm going to pick Ogre Maw Tribes as the last battle tome because I think they're going to pin it with a huge refresh. So it's good. They're going to tie it to their first narrative thing. So that's the narrative will be, I think the narrative will be like Ogre Maw Tribes going out doing something. Here's a huge box. First narrative event, Ogre Maw Tribes refresh box. But I think it's going to be at the end. I think they're showing us and they're hinting at all this stuff, but it's nowhere close. Is my take on it. Okay, so that was the last book out. Then maybe you can kind of refine this if you're still watching this. Out of all the armies, improve one, leave one alone, trash one. I assume you mean for rules.
This is like Mary F. Kill.
Yeah, this is basically Mary.
Right?
That's what he's doing here. Is it like our own personal aesthetics? Say you're still here. So what do you want us to talk about for improve, leave alone, trash? Is it rules, aesthetics, or just our pure love of it? Let's see if he's going to type out a response here. I'll give you a minute. You have 30 seconds. Oh, pray that I don't change the time further.
30 seconds to reach minimum safe distance.
That's right. Little did you know this battle station is fully operational. He's not responding. Okay, cool.
I do agree with Age of Canuck though. Cities needs serious work.
Oh God.
And I agree. Like having them come out last would not surprise me because GW probably is still trying to figure out how to balance them and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, your love. Yeah, I agree with you. As someone who bought the Cities of Sigmar box to get into and initially in 3rd edition when I got back from working overseas, that was like I wanted to play it and I learned how they play it and I was like, I have no interest in this. just in general. Okay, so I'll go to Ed first. Out of all the armies, your love, just in general, what are you gonna improve one, leave one alone? Which one's going in the bin, the
oh.
trash?
So the improve is going to be Iron Jaws because they're my
Okay,
first love, and
I'll buy
I
it.
love the models. I love the aesthetics. I love the lore. So yeah, improve will be Iron Jaws. Leave alone. I'm gonna go Slaves to Darkness. And trash. Just because I love busting on our buddy Brad. Trash Night Hunt.
A strong pick. What do you think, Matt? What's yours?
I would like to see an army worked on would be Sylvaneth. I think that they have a very high beginner's ceiling. And because they're such, again, this is from an average player standpoint, they're such a precision scalpel army that new players pick up the models because they look so cool, but they're really hard to play effectively. Who I would leave alone? That's a really good question. I like where Skaven are, to be honest with you. I think they have multiple builds that are viable. I don't think they're ever going to go 5-0 consistently in the hands of a good player. I think it takes a wizard, but I think that they're in a good spot. And trash would be KO. Go play 40K.
Okay, I can buy those as well. So it's funny. We'll pick up off that as I kind of had my down in my head as you're talking. So the one I want fixed is KO. So I want I want KO worked on because I don't like how they play now. And there's this inside joke where it's like KO is not allowed in our house. My wife won't let KO be in this house. Somehow it's finding its way into this house via holiday means. Not me, but other means. But I think KO needs work. Like, it's not a fun play style where it's like sit back, shoot. I take my stuff with my boat and I run away, or I take my stuff with my boat and put it into you. The fix on the redeploy and pulling them back out, not letting that happen, was great. But I think it's the one I would work because I like the aesthetic. I think it's cool. Sky Dwarves is kind of a cool thing, but like, fix it, please. Maybe like less boats, more ground stuff. A boat, 2 boats, like, and is like their thing. I don't know. You can fix it. Leave alone. So I agree with you on Skaven. You already talked about it. I think Skaven are in an excellent place. And then the other one I would leave alone because I think it is great internal balance in the book is Soulblight Gravelords. I think you can build Soulblight Gravelords 6 ways to Sunday. You can build skeletons. You can build wolves. Wolves not as great, but you can build all vampires. You can use the Army of Renown for the Blood Knights. I think Soulblight are in a great place, and I wouldn't touch them at all. One in the trash, Sons of Behemoth. I don't want to see it. I don't want to play Knights in Age of Sigmar. I hate playing against it, and it's not that I hate the people. I had a great game playing against Sons of Behemoth at TGX. The opponent was great, fantastic opponent, but like, okay, there's 2 of them, and now Kragos is going to make them 3d6 charge, and now I got God. Like, it's not that interactive, like back and forth style I like in a game, so it's just my preference. And what do you think, Ed? Would giving Iron Jaws their own book help?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would make any difference whether they were sharing with the other or like the Cruel Boys.
Cruel Boys.
I think that Iron Jaws, because they are so slow, there are difficulties with the battle tactics. And I think giving them more, like a chariot would be kind of cool. Like, a war boss on a chariot with pigs. Shooting would be nice. I'd like to see some archers.
They need Grand.
Yeah.
So,
I think they need 1 shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just 1 second. I'll toss it over to Matt for a sec because I have to deal with something here.
Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying, but
Well, I mean, you know what? We could finish up on our hobby time. What we plan to have finished for next episode.
Okay.
That's
Sorry, I'm back.
good. Yep.
We had an emergency. Got to tell me everything. Yeah. So, what would you say, Ed? Sorry.
One of the topics that we haven't touched on is what we plan to have finished hobby wise before the next episode.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's go roundtable next episode, hobby wise. Throw some thoughts out there, a little teaser. Maybe we'll talk about on the next episode. It's not confirmed, but it's just thoughts we have in our mind. And then I'll just kind of do a little wrap up here at the end, a little spiel. So, Ed, kick it over to you.
So by the next episode, I have the 5 Voice and the 1 Gorgotha that I'm working on. And I'm hoping to have those done and the additional 5 Gorgothas that make up that reinforced unit for the next.
Nice.
I
have a tournament coming up on Sunday at Enter the Battlefield in Newmarket, just a little 1-day 3-rounder, and I'm bringing Slaves to Darkness, so I have 10 models that need to be finished up. So I'm hoping to get them done, and the 3 manifestations that I'm bringing for them.
Nice. For myself, I've got Game 5 Old Man Winter League coming up, and I've got to get an Infernal cohort with Blades, Scourge of Iran, done. So built at least, and then I'm still working on painting this whole army before I get to the the RTT. My apologies, in February. Okay, round the horn. Thoughts for the next show? What do you want to talk about, Ed? What do you think?
I don't know. I leave it in your capable hands. I'm enjoying the direction that you guys are taking it.
Sounds good, Matt.
I think manifestations would be a good topic because it's when are they a unit, when are they not a unit, what are the good ones, what are the bad ones, are there good ones, are there bad ones? I think that might be a good, especially for a newer player, it gets really confusing as to when you can and cannot interact with them.
Yeah, totally down with that. There's so many times in the game where I'm like, can I covering fire this? Is it the closest thing? Is it not a thing? I'm down with manifestations. All right, so I'm gonna kind of close this out here, give a little steal, a little spick, a little talk. So thanks for all those who joined us today. We did have a couple of people drop in. Age of Canucks, very appreciated in the chat there, as well as a couple of people that came in and chatted throughout. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I'd ask that you subscribe, YouTube, subscribe, like all the nonsense, all the jazz. Same with Twitch. And for those who wish to join us on the next episode, we're aiming to do this weekly on a start of the week schedule for Twitch, and then throughout the week sometime we'll put it on the YouTube if you prefer YouTube or Spotify, to be determined when that happens. So we'll put out a notice in the AOS Canada Discord, if we're going out on Monday or Tuesday live, and you can kind of have a day's notice to come in and join us. So with that being said, any last words before I close this thing out?
We were toying around with the idea, because we do regular sort of Discord hobby hangouts, of possibly streaming those. They're not as us focused on a camera as we'll be painting, but some conversation can still happen. And I don't know if there's an interest in joining us for that as well. Get your hobby juices going while we're painting as well. Yeah, it's great. Anything, Ed?
Be excellent to one another.
Great final words. And on Matt's point, if you want that, please leave it in the comments on either YouTube or hit us up at Average Homies of Sigmar at gmail.com. We'll take your considerations under advisement. And that being said, thanks everyone. It's been great, but we're going to call it for a day. And have a good day. Have a great hobby. Goodbye.